Karl Rove, that was George W. Bush's main political guru, well, he is now saying that it's going to end badly for Donald Trump, saying that Americans are already tired of him. That's Fox News pundit Karl Rove. Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, former state attorney for Palm Beach County, a.k.a. the Florida Lawman, here on Legal AF. Legal AF is where we meet at the intersection of law, politics, and true crime. I add some true crime to it. But when it comes to politics, we all know the name Karl Rove. He's been a Fox News pundit for some time now. And unlike his boss, George W. Bush, he has not remained silent when it comes to Donald Trump. He has been outspoken when Trump screws up, and he's speaking out now. According to The Independent, famed Republican strategist Karl Rove claims that Americans are already exhausted of President Donald Trump, less than 100 days into a second term. Rove argued in an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal that voters made crystal clear what they wanted from the new administration: lower prices and a better economy. Trump promised to reduce inflation, but instead he started a trade war, Rove stated, noting that many expect prices to rise. He also criticized the administration for supporting new issues not mentioned during the campaign. Now, keep in mind that the Wall Street Journal is a Rupert Murdoch publication, and the Rupert Murdoch publication is not going to put an op-ed on its editorial pages, on its opinion pages, unless Rupert Murdoch and his team wants it there. And again, the Rupert Murdoch-owned Wall Street Journal editorial board would not have published that unless they wanted that message to be sent to Trump. The editorial board now is going after Trump, not just on tariffs, they've done that already, and not just on Ukraine versus Russia, they've done that already, but now it's just generally everything. Let's look at the op-ed from Karl Rove. Entitled, "America Gets Trump Fatigue," the op-ed trashes Trump throughout, and keep in mind, you're starting to see it more and more in the Wall Street Journal editorial pages, but where this stuff gets real is when Rupert Murdoch puts it in Fox News. It's one thing to put it on the pages of the Wall Street Journal and the New York Post. He's done both, but is it going to go to their famed Fox News, which is the key mouthpiece for the MAGA movement, what people watch? Their ratings have been huge in the Trump administration, or are they, is Rupert Murdoch, going to shy away and say, you know what, Trump butters our bread and we're not going to criticize him here on the channel that makes us so much money? We'll see, but it's starting to bubble to the surface in other publications. Karl Rove writes, but on the key issue of the economy, Americans aren't happy. Mr. Trump's campaign promise to break inflation has been replaced by a fixation on raising tariffs, which nearly 3/4 of Americans expect to hike prices. We're also confused. Is the goal getting trading partners to lower their tariffs on U.S. goods and services, or replacing our income tax with high tariffs on foreign goods? It isn't only inflation and tariffs. Every week the White House throws its weight behind a new issue that went largely or entirely unmentioned during the campaign. Rename the Gulf of Mexico? Acquire Greenland? Take back the Panama Canal? Make Canada the 51st state? Americans find themselves asking, where did that come from? There's way too much retribution, Rove writes. Most of the president's revenge attempts will end badly for him. Republicans could rue the day they set a new justification for retaliation from Democrats. One of the more unusual aspects of the Trump presidency is that it often helps parties in foreign countries that oppose him. Mr. Trump's attacks on Canada revived the fortunes of Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party in the upcoming national elections. He's done the same thing in Australia, where the Conservative Party's numbers have dipped because voters see it as too much in sync with Mr. Trump. We already know the country remains highly polarized. Democratic and Republican true believers are locked in. It's the 15 to 20% of voters who didn't like their choices last year that matter most. Mr. Trump started with 50.5% approving, 44.3% disapproving in the Real Clear Politics polling average a week after he was sworn in. Those RCP numbers went upside down March 13th and today stand at 46.9% approving, 50.3% disapproving, a nearly 10-point margin shift in the wrong direction. My hunch is things will get worse before they get better. That won't matter for Mr. Trump's ardent fans. For them, the past 8 weeks have been exhilarating. But in the non-MAGA world, which includes independents and Republicans, the start of Mr. Trump's second term has been exhausting. They aren't used to this pace, confusion, and incessant combat. Theodore Roosevelt's daughter said her father wanted to be the corpse at every funeral and the bride at every wedding. So does Donald Trump. It isn't obvious that America wants that too. But we know he won't change. Trump fatigue is real. I can't believe it hasn't even been 100 days yet. Is that possible? I mean, it's got to be 100 days, right? January 20th. It's been exhausting. And America's going to grow more exhausted because these policies just go back and forth. Tariffs are on, tariffs are off. They're on, they're off. And Trump now, I think, realized that in part. That's why he's focusing so much on deportations. He knows that when it comes to making America safe again, that's his terrain. That he is proud to go after people who he states are gang members, even if they may not be. But that is a political winner generally for him until enough innocent people get deported. And then all of a sudden, issues of due process, which are more esoteric, which don't have a lot of emotional appeal at first, but then it gets real because due process is there not necessarily to protect the guilty, but to protect the innocent, to protect us all. So at some point, the abridgment of free speech and due process, they stop being just abstract concepts and start being real issues that Americans care about. And in the meantime, how about those prices of eggs and everything else? Tariffs are going to hit people hard. And the issue that Trump ran out on, which was inflation, has been given second, third, fourth, fifth tier status as he does other things, as Karl Rove says. I do think that the growing movements, the marches, the protests, the energy of Cory Booker's marathon, filibuster, those are the type of things that show that there's real resistance out there. And so although I talk to a lot of people who are demoralized, I also speak to a lot of people who are now energized. And I think as the days go on, the number of people who are demoralized will grow fewer and the number of people who are energized will grow greater. And then the midterms will be upon us. You don't have to wait till 4 years to make real change in our government. That comes in November 2026, which will be here sooner than we know. And we'll keep following here on Legal AF. Because now, who would have ever thought that Karl Rove, person who was the brainchild for George W. Bush, who at the time was, I mean, if you lived through the George W. Bush administration, it was rough. I mean, the war in Iraq, I mean, lots of just divisive rhetoric, and yet it pales in comparison to what we're dealing with now. And now we are in a post-George W. Bush environment where up is down and down is up. The Liz Cheneys of the world, Dick Cheney's, Karl Rove's, George W. Bush's, they don't look quite as bad, do they? So that's where we are. I'm Dave Aronberg, a.k.a. the Florida Lawman, here on Legal AF. Thank you for your support. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, and leave a comment below. And I'll see you next time.
In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.